Alright, so I'm going to show something I do regularly, and this could help vegans out there who are on a budget, someone who might want to consider some vegan meals. Maybe they need to reverse their heart disease or their type 2 diabetes, or they realize that meat is destructive and disgusting and it doesn't really benefit them, stuff like that. This is a thing you can do that will generate roughly a week's worth of food in about 45 minutes to an hour worth of work. And I do this for food for me and for my daughter, for anyone who wants it. So this is cheap and easy too. I can't just give you, prices right up on the screen or whatever, but you'll know if you go to Walmart or go to a store to get your stuff, this is some cheap stuff. Okay, so we've got our pan ready to boil water for rice. Okay, we're going to need 2 bags of what I use is Gardein plant-based ground beef. Now you can use Impossible meat. You can use, I guess you could do this with beef, but it will not last as long in storage if you do this recipe with meat, and I'm not recommending that. I'm a vegan. I don't recommend eating that garbage. And it won't last as long. This will last 5 to 7 days in sealed containers in the refrigerator. Okay, so what we're going to be making is a burrito mix that's really super good. It's an upgrade on the old burrito mix that I made before. So if you saw my old video, you know the old one, it had Gardein vegan chili as the base, and then it was rice and some diced tomatoes. What we're doing now is, instead of the chili, we're using black beans, light red kidney beans, the same diced tomatoes, only the hot variety with peppers in it, and with crumbles that are seasoned. Okay. Now, with all my little recipe things I've done, the handful of them I've done on this channel, everything is made to use the least amount of dishes possible, and to get the most amount out of it so that I don't have as much dishes to do, and it gets done quick. So the first thing I do is I get a cup ready. Then I choose one of the bowls that's later going to hold the mix, one of the smaller ones here, for the rice. So we'll be using this Jasmine rice, Thai Hom Mali from Great Value brand from Walmart. I get them in the 20-pound bags because it's cheaper. You want to save money buying bulk, so I get my cup. I'm going to put 3 cups of rice in this bowl. Now I'm going to add a small amount of the Great Value Himalayan pink salt, the fine grade, to my pan that's going to be for the rice. Just a little. This is going to help add flavor, maybe some trace minerals, but it also has the effect of helping the rice, keep the rice from bonding to the bottom of the pan, and it's just all around good. Just not too much. You don't want to over salt it because it'll taste bad and be bad for you. Now I'm going to put 4.5 cups of water in this pan. I'm just going to use this same cup. It's empty of rice. It's dry. I'm going to set this on high heat until it starts boiling. So again, what we're using is black beans, hot diced tomatoes with green chilies, and light red kidney beans. These are all great for you. Now, also we're using two packages of the Gardein plant-based ground beef, like I showed. Half a bag of this will go into each of these larger containers once it's prepared. And I'll prepare it in this bowl in the microwave while this is boiling. So that's all a process. You want to try to do all this, while your water is boiling, then while your rice is simmering. You want to get as much done as you possibly can. Usually it's pretty close. By the time the rice is done, everything's done, but there's no guarantee. You might end up having to make a couple of bowls of this of the crumbles, depending on how much of this you're making. Sometimes I'll make half and half burrito mix and a Asian rice mix. I'll put the Asian rice mix in the smaller bowls, and then those can just be put in the microwave and cooked. You want to chill this before you eat it because it lowers the glycemic impact of rice. If you chill your rice for a while, a few hours at least, but probably a day, and then reheat it, then you are eliminating its greatly eliminating its glycemic impact. Rice can be a heavy glycemic impact, so in case you're looking out for that, I like to avoid any kind of concerns with it. Plus, this gets it all ready, so it's in the fridge, and someone can grab it and make a burrito, or grab it and eat it with some soy sauce or with some sauce right out of the bowl, and it works, and it's really, really fast. Also, super good for you. Now, they've done studies and found that there's a link between telomere growth, telomere length, I should say, not growth, but telomere length, and vegan meat substitutes and some vegan food. So your telomeres are like strands within a cell that once they start to like unravel and shorten, then you die. It begins cell death, and so that is paused. There's studies that show that it is paused with some of these vegan substitutes. So that's just longer life. It's longer life, healthier living, longer life. Like every time a cell divides, the telomeres shrink, and if you can kind of like glue the ends of these telomeres so that they don't shrink as much, then you live longer. So however that works, you can look up the studies online. I recommend watching Nutrition Facts, or watching the work of Dr. Michael Greger or Dr. Milton Mills. There are several doctors, though. It's the wave of doctors that are starting to realize that humans are more herbivorous than omnivorous, and are definitely not carnivorous, is growing. It's growing significantly as nutrition is becoming increasingly more part of the medical mindset. They're starting to realize what happens to our bodies when we consume animal flesh, and the long-term effects of it on our bodies, and really comparatively what our bodies are, what we're meant to consume, the type of organism we are. We are herbivorous organisms. People will argue it no matter what, but that's just the cold hard fact. It doesn't make people rich who have destroyed the Brazilian rainforests or are murdering animals constantly for food. It doesn't make them rich for us to know that, and it gives us power to know that. But that's just how it really is. You are an herbivore. You can say, no, I don't believe it. That's fine. You can say you're an omnivore. That's fine too. Check out Milton Mills' video, his presentation, Are Humans Designed to Eat Meat? It's a really powerful, impactful video. Also, I would recommend checking out Dr. Michael Greger's book, his presentation on pandemics, which came out in 2013. It was basically prophetic, and it's extremely educational, something that I feel like people probably should be taught anyway. It is the source of most of our diseases and sicknesses, and the pandemics and what's causing them, things like that. So also anything by Dr. Michael Greger. He does books on how not to die, how to diet, how stuff like that. You watch his videos, read his books. I don't know if you'd like this recipe or not. I can tell you this is cheap, it's fast, it's healthy, and it checks off a lot of the marks for a healthy diet. Okay, so you want to open your cans, drain your beans. Sometimes your black beans will need drained, and sometimes they won't. The black beans, when they're prepared for canning, will have a little bit of residue, but not much. Whereas the kidney beans have a lot of residue. Oh. And will need to be drained. So you don't want a whole bunch of extra fluid in this. Okay, so my water's boiling, right in time for my rice here. Okay, lower your heat to low. I put it at the middle point of low. And then set your timer for 15 minutes. Okay, so we've got half a bowl of the Gardein crumbles. We're going to add black pepper, garlic powder. Okay. We're going to add a bunch of minced onion. Minced onion is really great with this. Some dill weed, some ground mustard, a little bit of salt. Okay. And I like some cayenne pepper, just a little teeny bit, but also some either oregano or the Italian seasoning. Both of those are good. Okay, so it doesn't really, the order doesn't matter, and I do this by eye. You can do this however you want, however much you want to add. I just know how much because I've done this a zillion times. Now with the Italian seasoning, if you see any big sticks, pick them out. Looks like I only got like one out of there. Dillweed adds a tartness that's really good. Of course, garlic powder is good. I've done this so many times, I just know how much to use. This isn't open yet, so. Now, you don't want to add too much. You definitely don't want to add too much of the ground mustard because it will add like kind of a, I don't know, a filmy flavor to your, already did that one, to your tongue. It will like make a kind of a hot, it'll get hot, but then too much, then it's a careful balance. So you can omit the mustard powder if you don't want to risk that, but too much mustard powder will be kind of filmy and not taste good, and just the right amount is really, really good. I love the dried onions. I love what it does to the crumbles. Okay, now you add water to these crumbles before you microwave them. And so the crumbles are going to have water, and you're also going to put a paper towel over the top of this bowl, so it's going to steam everything in there, so the onions get soft. A little bit of salt. Okay, so that's pretty good right there. I might look for my oregano so that I don't use the Italian seasoning on the next two, because I don't want there to be little sticks in my food. Okay, now you want to put about, first you want to pat the side of this bowl. That's going to kind of sink everything in there. And I'm going to add water. And you're only adding the equivalent of a tablespoon or two of water. Too much water and you'll have kind of a spicy residue going on. Not enough water and you'll have dry crumbles. Okay, you want to seal this over the top. See if I can't get my hands in the camera here. Like this, over the edges, so that's nice and sealed. That's going to go in the microwave for about 3 minutes. So what we want to do is, after the first batch of crumbles is done, we'll stir it up with our spoon so it's nice and mixed in well, and then it goes on top of one of these containers. This will get one whole bowl, this will get one whole bowl, this will get one whole bowl, and then the last bowl will be divided between these two smaller ones. I have a smaller one over here on the side. Okay, our bowl is out here, and it could be hot to the touch, so be careful. Just stir it up really, really good. Make sure to get everything worked in. Yeah, as you stir this, the heat transfer is going to go up the wall of the bowl, depending on, I guess, what kind of bowl you're using. So this is going to get hot. I usually set aside 2 of these little half paper towels in case the first one needs to be used on the edge. But I'm going to just stir this until all of it's mixed up well. I focus on making sure that the bottom of it has no soupiness or anything like that going on. It's just working it all together. It's going to be worked in more later with a big stir. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and put it in here. Now this is crumbles. This is not beef. Okay, this will last. It's not going to rot the way that beef does. It's not going to have worms or poop or anything bad in it. Blood or it's not going to have any of the microbial life that might be in meat. There's nothing in here to like spoil or spark some kind of nasty growth while it's sealed in your refrigerator. Okay. I give the bowl a big quick rinse, and then I repeat the process. I dump the ground beef, the Gardein plant-based, in here, add the spices. I found my leaf oregano, no sticks, okay, and I'm going to do the same thing 3 more times. Now once your rice is done, you want to go ahead and fluff it right away. So you get your rice delivery spoon, whatever you're going to use, and just kind of move it around in the rice. Get your rice separated. This will keep it from caking together as fast and make it easier to deal with. Okay? But what we're going to be doing with each of these, and what the final product will be like, is this right here. Okay, I'm going to be putting this in here now. I'm just adding rice to the top. Remember when you were a kid and everybody said to eat beans and rice because it's a complete protein? That's kind of when we didn't really understand as well how proteins work, or that all protein is from plants. That you don't need to eat meat, or no one ever had to eat meat to get protein. It's not something that you have to do, and that's just kind of it's a misconception. All animals that get protein somehow get it from plants. If the lion's getting protein from an animal, it's because the animal they ate got it from plants. If humans are eating plants, they're getting protein from the plants, and if if animals eat plants, they're getting protein from the plants. Now, so you don't have to eat meat for protein. Meat is not a higher quality protein than beans or something like that. And the reason protein is everywhere now, the whole protein thing, the reason protein is all over everything is because they're afraid. They're afraid that the one thing that they have an argument in favor of with regards to meat is going to be contested. And so that's why they came out with the sales term, quality protein. Oh, now meat is a higher quality protein than something else. It's not. and getting cancer so that you can get your protein. It's like saying that it's a higher quality oxygen that's going through the filter of a cigarette. Well, I'd rather not get cancer to get that higher quality oxygen, if that's even some kind of a thing, which it's not. Okay, so it's a lie. You have to understand that it's a lie. I keep a pan over here, and then I put it over the burner that I just used. Okay, and then I put the lid here just to keep it safe and cool, and then that makes sure that no little fingers might touch that, because I got a lot of kids, and I make sure I don't touch it. It puts something over the hot thing there. Okay, so that's taken care of. It's safer. So here's what you end up with, and I'll show you here in a minute what you do after that. Okay, so again, the other half of the Gardein crumbles. Okay, and I'm going to add all those spices to this. Throw it one more time. I put a little bit of salt on there. I'm going in a different order, that's fine. Cayenne pepper. If you don't want it to be so spicy, don't put cayenne pepper on it. Cayenne pepper has been said to be able to stall a heart attack in progress. So like you've heard that to take an aspirin or something like that. Well, if you don't have an aspirin, I guess cayenne pepper can also stall a heart attack. So all you meat eaters out there, cayenne pepper can stall that heart attack briefly. There we go. That's that oregano. Looks like, and I kill the spice rack. I'll just tell you straight up. I go through spices like crazy. I'm always, you know, having to get this or that spice because I just ran out. I just ran out of mustard powder, even though that's probably one of my lesser used ones. And that stuff a little bit goes a long way. And we'll do the pepper, which I'd like to get the bigger one open. Here we go. And my favorite for this, those minced onions, which they're just so good in this recipe. I love the minced onions in these crumbles. You know, it'd probably be good in Sloppy Joe. But yeah, I feel like I could just keep on adding minced onions and everything would be okay. That's fine. So I hit this, and I add some water and microwave for 3 minutes. Okay, one thing I did forget here, and I felt like something was missing, is the ground cumin. Okay, so I went ahead. I'm going to put it in this one now, and it's one of the more, maybe most important. If you're going to say, okay, I don't do spices, whatever. The ground cumin is the flavor of Mexican food. Like when you eat burritos and tacos and stuff, cumin is like the flavor that you're tasting. It's widely used in all those dishes. So you definitely want to add ground cumin to it. Not ground human, okay? We're not going from animals to humans. We're going away from animals to cumins, okay? So ground cumin's delicious, got to be in there. Now the first batch I made, after I mixed this up, I'm just going to go ahead and add it in there. It doesn't really matter what order. In fact, if you wanted to, you could. Other than the minced onions, you could do all these spices after this is mixed up, or to your own flavor later on. But the onions you definitely want to add during the cooking process, because they're going to get soggy and kind of softer, and you don't want to try to eat those without them being cooked into the food. So now we've got a second batch ready, and I'm going to do all of these. Ground cumin in each of the crumbles now. Alright, one last time here just to make absolutely sure. Now these are chunkier. What you do before you open your bag of Gardein crumbles is you punch them a whole bunch to get them broken up. Otherwise they might end up being just a solid block of crumbles. Okay, so that was salt. We're going to go cayenne pepper. I'm just grabbing here. Dill weed. Now the amount I've learned with each of these is by trial and error. Okay, and so you want to do your own trial and error with these spices to get it the way you want it. But if you do it the way I'm doing it now, it's going to be good. Maybe a little spicy, because I like spicy food. I'm going for spicy. But if you don't like spicy food, then of course, leave out the ground cayenne pepper, leave out the mustard powder, maybe leave out the black pepper if you think that's spicy. Also, some people are sensitive to spices, and it's totally fine to make this entire thing without any spices at all. That's totally fine, but and it's going to be good. It's going to be very healthy for you. I'd say throw the minced onions in there, unless of course you react to onions somehow. Now me, even though garlic is related to onions, I get a headache when I eat like whole clove or clove garlic. If I eat just garlic, and I don't like that because I know it has lots of health benefits and stuff, but I'll eat things with powder, garlic powder in it, no problem, and I don't get headaches or anything from it. But if I eat just garlic, raw garlic, headache pretty much no matter what. So maybe you can't handle onions and you got to leave them out, but I'd say the bare minimum if you want this to be extra delicious is the ground cumin and the minced onions. The rest of the stuff is just kind of tweaked for flavor. I really love dill weed, and I try to put dill weed in lots of stuff, and I make a really super good sauce that goes with these dishes that I'll show later. Okay, so here's what we end up with. I have 3 large and 2 medium-sized containers full of burrito mix that will last between 5 and 7 days sealed, maybe longer. And you just get yourself a Grande burrito wrap or whatever size burrito wrap you're going to use. I put vegan cheddar shreds or vegan whatever shreds, you know, sometimes cheddar mixed with mozzarella, sometimes I'll put some American cheese, vegan cheese slices on there. I put the burrito mix down, then I microwave it for 2 minutes, okay? Then I flip the burrito over, microwave it for 1.5 minutes. Then I open the burrito up and add sauce and shredded lettuce or lettuce, whatever extra, you know, augmentation you want to throw on there after it's cooked. I don't cook the sauce with it because the sauce will get it really mushy and thin. So again, wrap, cheese, burrito mix, fold it up loosely, microwave 2 minutes, flip it over, microwave 1.5 minutes, and that's if it's gigantic. I make gigantic grande sized burritos. Of course, if it's a smaller burrito, you're going to be microwaving it for less time. A good way to tell that it's hot enough is steam is rolling off the top of your burrito mix. When you open this up, it's going to burn your fingers, and steam is going to be coming off your burrito mix from the tortilla. Now you know it's done. Add your sauce, add your extra stuff. Maybe you want to put some guacamole on there. You want to put some cooler ingredients, diced tomatoes that are additional tomatoes, shredded lettuce, whatever you want to throw on there. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mix these all up thoroughly, lid them, and fridge them. Here's the consistency when it's done. Beautiful. And I'm going to check, make sure nothing fell in here. Lid, maybe give it a little burp kind of motion there to get any air out of there. Fridge it. Now, that's enough food for me and my daughter or anybody else in the house that wants to eat for the next 5 to 7 days. It took me roughly 45 minutes to an hour to make. And it's super, super healthy, and it was extremely inexpensive. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and make the typical burrito that I make with this mix, using a sauce that I use in everything. And I'll say what the ingredients to the sauce are in case you want to make it too. So I'm adding the cheddar, and this vegan Better Goods, also from Walmart. Pretty much I think everything in this video is from Walmart. your Walmart doesn't have Hellman's vegan mayo or plant-based mayo, then you can make your own mayo. Now the sauce that I make is really super good, and it works well in rice dishes, works well with the burritos, works well with anything. I put it on sandwiches. It's just all multi-purpose, but it's extremely spicy the way I make it. But it takes 1 jar of the mayonnaise, and I have a few tablespoons out of the jar, maybe up to a half cup out of the jar, so there's room in the top. And then you add, and it takes a lot of spices to make the sauce. Dill weed, parsley flakes, dried parsley flakes. You need garlic powder, onion powder. I add some cayenne pepper and a lot, I'd say probably 4 tablespoons of your favorite hot sauce. I use a ghost pepper sauce that is widely available. Melinda's ghost pepper sauce. Now this stuff right out of the bottle will just knock you off your feet, but of course it's being diluted by the mayo and all the other stuff that's in there. You also add some regular pepper, and stir it crazily until, and when I stir it, I run the spoon up and down the sides thoroughly, almost like a churning motion, and that works all of the spices into the mayonnaise, and you get this beautiful color. I based it off of a recipe online for the gordita sauce from Taco Bell that I really loved. And I always wanted to get a way to get that sauce, and I figured, okay, I'm going to make it my own. But that's the coloration of this. If we're going to look, the color of this sauce, and it's very colorful, and it's got a lot of spices in it. The amount you add, I would say something like 2 to 3 tablespoons of the dill weed, maybe 2 tablespoons of the dried parsley flakes. The rest of it is widely to taste, but the garlic powder and onion powder, it's a lot. It's probably 1.5 to 2 tablespoons, probably 1 tablespoon. You can trust that to begin with. And this started really, really small, and I just worked my way up to where I was happy with the taste. And it's a kind of an experiment thing. You want to figure out exactly how you like your sauce to be. If you make the sauce the way I do, then it's going to be extremely spicy, and but also kind of tart and a little tangy, tiny, maybe a little hint of sourness in there. Okay, so I just washed my spoon so that I can go ahead and use this again for my sauce. You don't want to add the sauce first. You want to microwave the burrito first, or you can cook it in a air fryer. And that's about 8 to 10 minutes at about 320 degrees, and it will make it, suppose you have I don't know, dentures or something like that, and you still want to be able to eat this, then it's going to make it a lot easier to bite through the tortilla, because when you cook burritos in an air fryer, the tortillas get kind of brittle. And so I'm just going to microwave this 2 minutes first, then 1.5 minutes. Okay, that was 2 minutes. Now I'm flipping the burrito over. That just kind of evens things out. I want the cheese to be melted. Okay, we've got our burrito now. This is hot. You want to carefully open, and you're going to see steam coming off the burrito. You know it's nice and hot and cooked thoroughly. Some of the burrito mix might try to escape, and that's fine. You can catch it, take it back there. Okay, now this is the time to add the sauce. Now the reason I came up with the idea of making a sauce out of the mayonnaise for a base is because when I read the ingredients long ago for the gordita sauce, which I really loved from Taco Bell, back when I ate Taco Bell, I noticed that the first ingredients were essentially the same as mayonnaise. And then I was like, okay, hey, this is like mayonnaise. So then fast forward however many, 20 years, 15 years or more, yeah, it's been since probably 2012 since I've had anything like that. I was just thinking, hey, it's mayonnaise. So this sauce is super good. About a half cup out of it, and then you want to add your ingredients: Himalayan pink sea salt, parsley flakes, ground cayenne red pepper, ghost pepper sauce, ground black pepper, dill weed, garlic powder, and onion powder. Okay, so, and the amounts, this depends heavily on how much you're making. If you want to start small and work your way up, that's one thing you can do. I just use, I take a half a cup out of the mayonnaise, use the whole jar, and then I pour in each of these spices, just a little bit of salt. You definitely don't want to go heavy on the salt. I would say less than half of a teaspoon or half a teaspoon of salt. The two big components are the parsley flakes and the dill weed. You want to use 2 to 3 tablespoons or more, especially the dill weed. You want quite a bit of the cayenne pepper for color and for flavor, so I usually add probably a tablespoon. Ground black pepper, again, probably a tablespoon. Garlic powder, probably half a tablespoon, and also with the onion powder. And you can tweak and adjust those to how you like. If you think it's too sour, cut back on the dill weed. If you think it's too bland, then cut back on the parsley flakes. You definitely don't want too much salt. Too much salt will ruin the whole thing. The other components are, you know, based on how you feel about your garlic flavorings, onion flavorings. You can omit black powder. You can omit parsley flakes if you don't like them. You can have a different hot sauce. And in the end, after I put all of the spices in there, then I'll put a pretty generous helping of the ghost pepper sauce, and then stir it. I'd say probably, I want to say 2 to 3 tablespoons. These measurements could be low because I do all of this by eye from having done this many times. So yeah, and you want to tweak and work with this. Dial it in to your own personal specifications. But this makes a really great sauce. It's great in Asian rice dishes. I use it with soy sauce and mix it with Asian rice dishes. Super good as a topping for sandwiches, in place of mayonnaise, or in place of all the time. Put it just as alone on vegan steak burgers, vegan deli slice sandwiches, anything. Pretty much anything. It's delicious. Okay, so I'm just going to wrap this up. Oh yeah, that is hot. Don't like super hot and spicy, then use a medium or even a mild sauce. And then just for having just taken it out of the microwave, I'll flip it over, kind of press it down. This end might want to get sticky depending on what you're microwaving it on, and this compresses the top so it's easier to eat. These are messy. So there's what we end up with, a relatively large burrito. And try it, you'll like it.